up?
Hi.
How's it going?
Hey.
We're here with a review. Spider-Man: Homecoming. It's the latest Marvel movie, the latest Spider-Man movie.
Latest reboot?
Reboot. The third one.
Spider-Man? Called a reboot, I guess.
Sort of.
Don't call it a reboot.
Yeah. This is the first, full-length movie that has Tom Holland, the new guy playing Peter Parker, as Spider-Man. I mean, he was previously in Captain America: Civil War and stuff. But now he's got his own movie. This is the first of that whole Marvel, Sony, whatever the fuck you want to call that.
Partnership. Hopefully it's not the only thing to come with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, they teased some things,
they,
but we'll get to that
They
later.
throw some stuff out there, but I mean,
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. We'll get into spoilers later. But when we start with you, what'd you think?
I thought it was a good movie. It's been a while since I've seen a superhero movie that I really kind of thought was a good movie, more than it works as a superhero in this movie. It works because of this, and there's things that play with Marvel. I mean, there are things that play in this movie. It doesn't just focus on this story. But the thing I like about it is that when it does, Iron Man is in the movie, but it's not it's still Spider-Man's story, which I like. It's not oh yeah, but Iron Man went off to do this other thing. It's no, they don't, nothing matters about that. One plot point that I didn't understand about the movie is, with everything going on, why didn't any of the Avengers show up? But I felt like some dangerous stuff was happening in this movie.
welcome to
If Thor just
Marvel
showed up
Solo
for
movies 101.
no,
Yeah.
if Thor showed up for a minute, he could have had everything handled.
Well, who knows? Maybe Thor
And just put
Ragnarok's
that shit
happening
to
at the
death.
same time as this movie.
Dude,
Yeah.
timelines, man. Timelines.
Iron Man could have handled it.
Maybe they
He was
didn't
trying to.
think it was that big of a deal.
Iron Man did handle it. He called some people.
He called the FBI. I mean, what a
And
point.
besides, half the Avengers from Civil War, they're criminals now.
Uh-huh.
So,
What
they're...
about
Black
Tobey
Panther.
Maguire?
Yeah,
Who called him to come in? He's a grown man.
He's a grown Spider-Man.
But I mean, that wasn't a major knock against the movie. That's just something I was thinking the entire time. What if Thor just showed up? This movie would be over in 5 minutes. But I liked that this movie did feel natural in the sense that a superhero actually had struggles. But I thought Spider-Man is the best superhero for that. Has always been the best superhero for that for me, in terms of someone having struggles as a superhero and in their real life. I thought they did a good job of that in this movie, because it wasn't just this thing of in the Avengers, there's just a lot of aliens. How are we going to handle this? It's actual real things that are happening, and sometimes he can't really he's still learning some of his powers and some of the powers he's given, and he's dealing with real life stuff. Although it didn't really seem like he was too phased with real life stuff in a way. I think when you look at Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, he was more of I really care what's happening in my personal life. It sometimes in this movie it felt like Peter Parker was almost I care about being Spider-Man and I don't care about my personal life, which was kind of weird.
But I was going to say, I think we're having the same thought here.
The only thought I have to that is that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, I felt like he was much older.
Much more mature.
And he this is a kid in high school. He's got this cool fucking
Yeah.
thing
But
going on.
he
just-
thinks
that's all he gives a shit
his
about.
Same
future
time.
is his future. All that matters in his future is being Spider-Man.
But at
So
the same time, it's it's almost like his aunt, I don't know what you would call her, the girl he has a crush on in school, Homecoming, all of it. Every time that he has an opportunity, it's it's not even a thought. Which I thought Spider-Man to me has always been how do I balance this? And it's almost I'm going straight for this,
But
I don't care about that.
the whole movie, almost the overarching theme of the movie was that struggle.
But it didn't feel like a struggle when it's I'm just going to do this. I don't even need a second thought about this. I'm going to leave this party. I'm going to leave this event. I'm going to leave this person. Like it's not even a struggle to him.
I think that
So
was
they didn't do a great job, I think, of making that feel like a struggle. It didn't feel like, oh, I really regret this. It just felt like at every opportunity.
I thought they did an okay job of doing it.
I could agree that maybe they could have done it a little bit better, because I think that's like kind of what he's supposed to be learning throughout the movie. Because I mean, there was a time period where it seems like he kind of dials back on being Spider-Man and he's looking into his personal life. And then I mean, the very last thing that he
really
does.
Got that. Like I like the angle of him being selfish. I thought that was good, but I guess it's just a different Spider-Man that I would like more. There are a lot of different Spider-Mans.
Speaking of which, Spider-Man, is this like Ultimate Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man?
I don't think it matters. I think Marvel, the MCU does their own thing anymore. Like, I mean, Thor's a combination between the regular and Ultimate Universe Thors. Like, it's not hammered in as a particular thing. So,
Got hammered in.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you see Captain America: Civil War? So,
No.
what do you think of Tom Holland as Spider-Man, though?
He was alright. I mean, there were some scenes that I thought he did a really good job in, where, what can I say? He was, I'm not giving it away, but he wasn't defeated, because, you know, the superhero's never going to lose in the movie, but he
I know the movie
felt
you're
like he was
talking
going to
about,
lose,
yeah.
where he had some heavy stuff on him. I thought that was interesting acting.
Both
I thought
metaphorically
that scene
and
was,
literally.
kind of convincing. But overall, I thought he was all right. There's always room for improvement, I guess, but he's a much better actor than I would be. But
He's also close in age to his character, I think, isn't he?
She's like 19.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, other than that, I thought he did a pretty good job. He was all right as Spider-Man. I think he did a good job as Spider-Man. I think more movies he could bring out that character more, of being more of a smartass, because now it's kind of the thing of he is still learning it, but eventually I guess when he gets better and he gets more confident as Spider-Man, he can be more of a smartass, which I always liked in Spider-Man. I thought he was good. I thought Michael Keaton was pretty good. He's really having a nice revival in his career.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a really solid movie overall. It was one of the better superhero movies I've seen.
I'm gonna come
One
right
of the
out.
best, I would say.
I'm gonna come out and say it. I think maybe this might be, maybe not. It's I don't think it's better, but it's probably close to, I think, as good as, or probably the best you're gonna get compared to Spider-Man 2 in a Spider-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think, again, Tom Holland, I think, does a great job here as Spider-Man, because one thing maybe with Civil War is that you don't get to spend much time with Peter Parker.
Yeah.
You can spend most of the time with Spider-Man. And one of the things that I love about what Tom Holland does with the character is he kind of reminds me a little bit of Andrew Garfield in the original Amazing Spider-Man, where he's this awkward teen, which is something that I think lacks a little bit in the Tobey Maguire. He's a different kind of awkward in the original trilogy.
He's
But
awkward college student, not awkward high school student.
he's not necessarily like
Awkward.
socially awkward, which is what I like,
Yeah.
that he kind of brings in with like how like he can't talk to Liz or whatever it is, and all kinds of other weird stuff that happens. I like how, even though yes, this is a Spider-Man movie, they do find cool ways to justify things and to tie it in. Like they tie it to the first Avengers in some ways, and again to Ultron and Civil War and a couple other things like that. And they're small things. They're not like, they're just like, oh, that's cool. Okay, that's a reference to this, and I really like that. I think that the whole plot progression that Peter Parker goes through, I think is great of him. Again, as we were kind of mentioning a little bit of him, he kind of just wants to be Spider-Man, but then he kind of has to learn what it means to be Spider-Man, and then he kind of, almost in a way earns the right to be Spider-Man. And I like that, because I felt the climax of this movie with the fight, which I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I felt like it was a lot more raw than like really anything in the Amazing Spider-Man series. That's the one thing about that, is that the fight scenes didn't seem raw in that film, whereas like maybe Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin or Spider-Man versus Doc Ock was like these very raw confrontations that would happen, and they were kind of a little more gritty, and and this hit that. I agree. Michael Keaton did do, I think, a good job as a villain. I think it's kind of ironic that it's the second time within the last couple of years that he's played a bird-related character in a superhero-esque movie. I mean, he played Birdman. He was in that Birdman movie, so I found that funny. And I think this movie had a great supporting cast. I think, like characters like Ned and Liz, though not the biggest roles, I think they did a good job of creating this world.
But Ned had a huge role. He was the guy in the chair.
He was the guy in the chair, yeah. But and people like that, and then the character Michelle, played by Zendaya, and just a bunch of other people. They created a world that it felt natural to kind of come into. It wasn't like anything extra.
I thought Aunt May was just really weird. It just didn't work for me. I don't know.
No, but we're so used to a certain kind of Aunt May.
But I still feel like it just didn't work as a character in the movie. I didn't really. It wasn't bad. It's just not my taste, I guess. Which it's just a personal thing, Everyone has their own.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think there was anything wrong with her. I think
we're so used to the doting, worried.
I feel like this one makes a lot more sense.
Older.
I feel like this makes a lot more sense. I mean, age-wise, especially with her. But a couple other things. I mean, I like that they didn't slap Robert Downey Jr. in this movie and then make it secretly Iron Man 4. I like that he, in all honesty, has about less of a role than you would have thought going into the movie. I thought Happy Hogan being in the movie again was cool. Because, I mean, we haven't seen him since Iron Man 3.
John Favreau's getting old.
He is.
Robert Downey Jr. is getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a couple other people show up. There's a couple Chris Evans cameos and things like that. And so I think the supporting cast is good, but I think Tom Holland is definitely the one who leads the charge with this movie, creating a different kind of Spider-Man. I also like the soundtrack. I thought the soundtrack was really good for this movie, and I think it worked. Mm-hmm. The only other thing I'll add is that I like how when you really look at it, when you kind of try to look into the movies deeper, especially a lot of the more recent Marvel movies, they have they're a different kind of movie. Ant-Man is a heist movie. Captain America: The Winter Soldier is a spy thriller.
Yeah,
things like that. This is like a young adult movie, which I think is nice. It's a different kind of movie for Marvel, and maybe not really the kind of movie that if this wasn't a Spider-Man movie, I probably wouldn't go see something where some of the stuff especially in his social life plot-wise happens.
Yeah.
But and I like that because it is genuinely, even though it's similar, it genuinely has some different flavor to it. But
yeah, I mean, I agree with just about everything you guys said. It's a really good movie that you'll kind of be smiling a lot throughout the movie. It's got a lot of fun to it, a lot of playfulness and everything. And the few things I just really think make it a really great movie is the progression of the movie is not ridiculous. It goes at such a great pace the whole time. It feels like there's actual build up to the stuff. I think Michael Keaton as the villain, I thought that was great. Everything just felt so grounded and not really ridiculous or anything. Especially with Michael Keaton, he's just running some underground business, and even when him and Spider-Man fight, it's not these just completely ridiculous things where there's just fucking destruction everywhere. And I mean, there's some, that's a superhero movie, but it's not just ridiculous. It still feels like it's a little bit more grounded and realistic in a way, which I liked. And then I like that stuff, and I just like Peter Parker and Tom Holland. I think they do mix. I think he fucking nails it as Spider-Man. The Peter Parker stuff, I think he does a great job, and I think he'll only get better over time with that stuff. But some of my favorite parts of the movie were kind of in the beginning when, he's just going around saving things and being, being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and stuff, and he kind of fucks some stuff up. He shoots his web on some dude's hand because he thinks he's trying to steal a car, but that's actually the person's car. He like slams his head into the car, and he's like, "What the hell?" You know, like stuff like that's just fun, and I think Tom Holland just completely nails that stuff. And yeah, I like a lot of the characters around him. I thought Ned was cool, and he's kind of a goofy character. Like if I found out that Keith was Spider-Man, I would be asking questions all the time too. I didn't want to shut the fuck up about it, you know?
Yeah.
Like it just felt a little like real, and I thought it was cool. And I liked when he discovered, you know, he was Spider-Man. So
The way
I
it
thought that
happened
funny.
felt very natural too.
Yeah, because I like how they like didn't show, you know, the camera like scene for the scene and everything was, you know, very specific and everything, which was cool. Yeah, I mean it was good. I like it. I just didn't think, you know, I didn't like how over the top it was. I liked how, yeah, that Tony Stark wasn't in the movie too much, and I thought when he was in it, it was kind of well done. You know, I like their relationship between Peter Parker and Tony Stark. Like Tony Stark's just acting like this big, you know, I'm way better than you because, you know, I got
Tony
all this
Stark.
money and I'm Tony Stark, but I'm still gonna kind of treat you like you're my kid type of thing and mentor you. But you know, it was fun. It's a really fun movie. I think it's one of the better Marvel movies in a long time. You know, I really like Civil War, but Civil War was like a very serious thing.
Yeah.
But you know, I think in terms of fun and enjoyment of just watching it, this is definitely even better than that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of what I can add to this that hasn't been said. I would say, yeah, the fun is probably one of the best ways to describe this movie. It's not as maybe goofy or outright goofy as like a Guardians of the Galaxy would be, but it's not an Avengers movie. It's not Thor. It's not Captain America. Whatever. It doesn't take itself too seriously at the same time. I like how they didn't go out of their way to connect it to the whole MCU plotline thing going on. They had enough allusions to it and things like that, and they were, I think, very well done when they did them. But this kind of just felt like a self-contained movie or a story within this whole overarching plot going on. And that's kind of what I think Spider-Man has always done best in terms of, like, at least in the comics, like, Spider-Man has always been the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's not, I don't know Marvel characters very well, but, like, to go off DC, like, he's not a Batman, he's not a Superman who's always involved in these huge, sometimes city-destroying plots. He's saving cats from trees, he's to take a shot at the PlayStation 2 game, saving kids' balloons.
Yeah, he does get into some of that stuff, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like,
it's a lot more. He does, like, to use a quote from the movie. He does tend to stay on the ground a lot.
Yeah, he is a hero of the people, I guess. I love the way they kind of like brought everything into the movie, like with the whole like video diary thing in the beginning of the movie. I thought that was very well done, very cool. Kind of summed up his involvement with Civil War and things like that, and getting the suit. The way they introduced Vulture, I thought, was very clever, and a very good explanation of how he has the wingsuit and things like that. It was, and then the plot twist, which we'll get to later, was it wasn't like earth shattering. It was like, oh, okay, so this has just got really awkward.
Yeah.
And the whole final battle kind of started much earlier, I think, than any fighting actually started. So I think that was very well done. The movie was very well paced. The action was very well spread out. The stuff with Peter felt very real. Like, yes, he's Spider-Man. He's got all this cool shit on the side, but he's still got to go to school. He's still part of this academic, whatever it is, team.
Decathlon.
You know, he was a band geek that he quit marching band to do the whole Spider-Man thing on the side. The whole Homecoming plot, while it might have been secondary, I guess, it also kind of felt necessary to the development of Peter as a character.
Yeah, I felt like that was kind of just thrown in as, you know, because of the name.
Yeah,
like I mean, it was just it was a very small thing.
But it's also part of high school. It's like, oh, he's got all this stress to deal with as Spider-Man, but he's also got all these things that stressed us the hell out in high school to deal with on the side too. Because again, he's 14 technically, 15,
something like that in the movie.
So you know, he's got some heavy shit to balance out, I guess, between normal life and Underoos. So. There we go.
There were a lot of similar situations to like the Tobey Maguire trilogy that I remember. Like you remember from Spider-Man 2 the train scene.
Yeah.
He has to stop the train. There was a scene kind of like that. I felt like in
with the ferry.
Yeah.
Kind of the not. I mean, in this movie is. Just sort of bad guys family relations to people that he knows,
like in the first
that.
one.
Yeah, I thought some of that. I noticed a few like kind of similar things to the original movies. I'm not sure if that was done on purpose or just kind of by coincidence, but
I mean, those are kind of like plot lines that happen like a lot in movies. It's just that probably it just kind of happened,
but also kind of worked for the character.
Yeah.
I thought like the train thing. I thought that was kind of a throwback to the Spider-Man 2. I felt a little bit. I mean, I'm not sure, but it could have
been.
Seemed that way.
Has it?
I mean,
been Vulture's origin, or has?
I know. I think this is like a new origin, which I like it. They made it.
I like this better than I think the Vulture I'm aware of.
Vulture in the comics is just like a thief.
Yeah,
that's literally all the deeper. He's a bank robber. That's literally all the further it goes. He's a bank robber.
Does he have actual wings, or is it?
Nah, it's a suit.
Okay.
It's not like a mechanical suit, but he has like a suit. He's also like a lot older.
Yeah,
like he's like
an old man.
Yeah.
Shocker was in the movie too.
Sort of.
Yeah.
No, he was in the movie.
Yes, I mean, I like that that even though they have him in there, it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna have two villains.
Technically, he was in the movie.
Technically, he's in the movie twice.
Yeah.
But
that was weird the first time.
It's like, oh, okay.
That was just a weird way. I thought that was gonna be a plot point, but then no.
Marvel like getting edgy now, man. Like there was penis and dick jokes in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. They were dropping penis bombs all over the place.
Penis Parker.
Yeah. And they're like frying the fuck out of people.
The whole porno joke thing.
Yeah.
It goes.
What the hell?
So kind of tangent. You know that like group of like 3 people that was like sitting next to me that had the little kid with them. Mm-hmm. After that scene, or during that scene, I heard him ask, like, I don't know if it was his dad or older brother, like, what's porno?
Oh, God. No.
Jesus. I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's all that kid's going to be fixated on the way home.
Probably.
What is it? He's going to go look it up on the computer.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
I mean, he looked about 10 or 11.
Yeah. Scores.
I don't know. Let me think.
Come back to you?
No, just wait on me.
Just wait on you? I'll give it an 8.5. I think that's deserving. If Wonder Woman and Logan are the benchmark of this year, I don't think this is as good. I mean,
Logan's a high benchmark.
Logan's a high benchmark. Okay. Really high. But like it's near there.
Not
but
just
it's
in
not
terms of superhero movies, but in terms of movies, I think Logan's going to be a high benchmark this year.
Yeah.
But like I'd say like it's definitely on the better side than I would normally give a superhero movie. So 8.5. I like that.
8.5 for me as well. Solid.
I'm gonna go rogue here and go 8. Solid 8. It's I don't know. Some things kind of felt off. Some things could have been done better, but overall it was still a fantastic, very fun movie.
you being the broke one.
Yeah.
If Spider-Man 2
Gets
to
those Death Star
me
plans.
is a 9, to me personally, as a movie, I guess 8.5. I would say it's not Spider-Man 2 to me.
And that's the thing. It
it's
kind of
more
didn't
on-
measure up to
I don't know if
that.
you can beat Spider-Man 2.
It's more on par with the first Spider-Man, which I really liked, but
Spider-Man 2 was
it's
just
some
better.
things about this movie I felt were a little more. It's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think that things they know how to make movies. Like the first Spider-Man was awkward in ways,
Yeah.
as like a band's first album or a first movie, and what might be a franchise. When you go back and watch, like when Avatar 5 comes out, you go back and watch the first one, like that was a little awkward. I think they did a good job of really making this movie feel like it didn't really have those awkward moments. It was definitely, it felt like it was made by people that really know what they're doing. I mean, it is Marvel. They made a lot of movies, but then again, I don't like all of them. I don't think all of them are that great, but it did feel like a most mature feeling movie.
I think the most awkward thing about Avatar 5...
Is the fact
Well,
that
it's more of the wait between Avatar 1 and 2 that's awkward.
Yeah.
it's like, of course, things are going to be different.
5 is
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look back and be like, oh, that was a movie in like the
I just want to
the
say,
latter part of that decade.
it is fucking stupid that they are making all 4 of those movies at the same time. Because
Continuity,
what if
man.
nobody gives a flying fuck about Avatar anymore?
Oh, they're still
That's
gonna
how
put them
I'm
out, baby.
Like,
They're
holy
gonna put
crap.
I don't know,
waste
they
a lot
Hey,
of
man,
money.
if the Mummy got released, then
They just built that whole park down in Animal Kingdom.
Well, yeah. I mean,
But that could, but I mean, that's a different story.
let's
It's
be
just-
honest, they just keep bumping out Transformers movies, so...
Hopefully not anymore.
No,
You keep putting
I
out
think this is the
Resident Evil
last
movies.
Transformers.
Those movies are fucking bad.
Also,
They're
I think they
rebooting
finally
them.
just put out the
They're
last one.
rebooting them.
They're, oh my god,
They're-
why?
Yeah, I mean that's something. At least they're not
Why?
continuing on because the movies now are bad. But Underworld.
Yeah,
That
That's
franchise
bad.
just needs to stop.
that's bad.
So I mean, Avatar has a shot. There's a chance to put out at least like 4 movies. Alien made it to Alien 4. They're still fucking pumping out Alien movies.
Are we really on Alien 4?
No, this would be technically like Alien.
No, Alien
This
4
is like
happened.
this is like Alien 6. Unless you,
But is
Yeah,
wouldn't,
if you
but it's
don't
like-
count
hold
the
on, wouldn't
Alien vs.
Alien
Predators
4
movies.
technically now be like Alien 6?
yeah, probably.
No.
Technically, in terms of like chronologically speaking.
If well, that's the thing. It also depends if you count Prometheus as an alien.
Well, not really because there are more movies that are coming.
Yeah. So
So
Yeah.
I can't.
Thank you,
I-
Ridley Scott.
I can't make my neck disappear when I do this, so it's not gonna be so. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Spider-Man.
Spoiler
Is there
time.
any spoilers to talk about?
I don't really have any, honestly.
There's not any major.
It's not
ones,
even
really.
major. The only one things I wanted to bring up was I like the illusion, which you mentioned a little bit earlier, which is there's an iconic Spider-Man panel where he's got machinery crushing him, and he manages to push it up off of him, and he lifts it up, and I'm like, I like it. They kind of use that, and that's in here. I'm like,
Yeah.
there you go. That's a great moment.
I thought that was like the strongest acting that
scene
Tom
right
Holland
there,
had.
yeah.
Like he really made it
He sat.
feel like it was a struggle.
He sounded like he,
to
like
fucking-
especially in the beginning, he sounded like he was genuinely afraid of it
Like-
for his life. And I'm
Yeah,
like, that's
Yeah, like that stuff was cool. I thought it was just awesome how, I mean, you knew he was going to win in the end because he's Spider-Man. He's the superhero.
he's in
But-
the next Avengers movie.
Yeah.
But I never ever, especially in the final section, felt like he was like on top of it. Or,
I felt like he
always
was
felt
more
like he was
like
getting his
underneath it.
ass kicked or whatever, and he technically didn't win. What's his face just kind of fucked himself.
The other guy
in
just
the end.
lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool, and also so the scene when Michael Keaton's character figures out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man,
When he
That-
takes his daughter to
Yeah.
homecoming, who is Liz?
especially the scenes
That
in the car.
plot twist, first of all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
was like, oh
Let me
shit,
get this
okay.
point.
Especially the scene in the car, though. I just thought that was really well done. It was fucking intense.
That was kind of the point I made to like the final boss fight starting like long before any punches were actually thrown.
His face reminded me of William Dafoe, kind of in the first Spider-Man. He's making some faces.
The one thing was, I kind of almost half expected it, but that reveal caught me off guard because they had kind of let out like fake leaked information saying that Zendaya's character, Michelle, that she was his daughter, and I'm like, oh, well, this makes a lot more sense. And then I like that dynamic that like again like we mentioned, that familial dynamic that kind of just makes it interesting. Now he's not just gonna let Vulture die because it's like crap. This is a girl that I like's father. I mean, I can't just let him die.
I did feel like he kind of sympathized with him a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like they made Vulture just to be a very sympathetic character.
They did a good job making it like
the beginning.
They justify him a good bit.
Also, that romance went nowhere.
That's fine.
They went nowhere.
That's fine.
But that's kind of That's
she moved to Oregon.
She moved to Oregon. And then
that's why I was talking about like his personal aspect of his life. It's just almost felt like it never really mattered in the movie.
I could see that. And then when I saw the stuff,
he wasn't like, oh no, she's moving. He was just like, I'm Spider-Man. I'm gonna go see the Avengers now.
Yeah.
But
gonna go see the next movie in theaters. Spider-Man. He's gonna swing in.
He's gonna go see his own movie.
Yeah, swing in.
But I read somewhere because they throw in the thing where what's her face, Michelle, like MJ, and it's like the only like it's a joke, or kind of not a joke, but like she's not Mary Jane, but kind of apparently they're planning on playing with that dynamic, so I don't know.
She's I guess the new Mary Jane?
I don't know. Supposedly what they're going to do is they say with if they do further sequels, which I know they have planned at least one, they're going to Harry Potter it, in the sense that the next one's he's a sophomore in this one. Next one's going to be a junior year, and if they do a third one, it's going to be during his senior year, and that's kind of like going to be kind of.
I mean, it could be interesting.
Which, yeah.
What if she's a superhero?
Could be.
With Spider-Gwen,
or
Spider-Gwen,
Silk.
Yeah.
Comes Silk. They do that, but that's like a
Catwoman.
Catwoman, Black Cat.
Black Cat, yeah.
No, Catwoman.
Just Catwoman.
Marvel DC crossover.
Oh snap!
Yeah. There's not too much like terribly spoilery that's like maybe you can see as like a negative about this movie. It kind of goes in a very
predictable way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Of course.
Yeah. The only thing that I didn't see coming was the whole twist of Liz being
his daughter.
What's his space's daughter?
Yeah, it's just like, oh,
but yeah,
shit.
it's a little predictable.
But that's fine. There's nothing bad about that. We've seen a lot of movies. Of course, we're going to predict how things go.
Yeah, I love the scenes in when he was in that fucking government base. He was like locked in there or whatever. That felt like so Spider-Man, but also like Deadpoolish.
Yeah.
Like if Deadpool was there, dude, he'd be like throwing F-bombs and all kinds of dumb shit.
But he'd be doing the same shit.
Yeah, but it felt like fun, in the same way.
I also really liked the whole sequence with the Washington Monument. I thought that was a cool sequence. It was like, oh wow, this is different. I mean, I knew they were going there because the trailer showed that, but it's like, Spider-Man you take him out of New York.
Yeah.
Within the first hour of the movie. What?
And another Marvel edgy thing when what's her
Whipped
face?
his penis out.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
What was I doing?
When she was like, "No, I don't want to support something built by slaves,"
Yeah.
and then they look over at the black guy and he's like,
And the teacher was like, it wasn't built by slaves, and they look over at the garden. She's like,
and then she flips. And then she's like,
"Yeah."
I'm like, damn, Marvel, you scary.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff though. There's some cool stuff that happens in this movie. Yeah, I like it. It's fun.
I like the part where the building fell on him.
That's good.
Which
just a building falling on him. I like that part.
I mean, he probably would have been dead, but
yeah, he should have been.
Spider-Man.
When you think about it, how strong is he? How indestructible is he?
He's a spider.
Building falls on a spider. The spider's dead.
Falls on a spider.
That's basic physics.
You can't beat that. Yeah.
Building falls on spider. Spider lives. You can't explain that.
I also like the very, very end when he got the suit back, and his aunt finally realizes that he's Spider-Man. She's like, "What the?"
And then they cut it.
It's funny.
I don't understand why. On two sides, I don't understand why Gwyneth Paltrow was there, but then I also don't understand why she was here and then they didn't have her in Civil War when she was like against being in Civil War.
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know, but
And then she got a higher billing than like most of the actors who were actually in the movie.
She and Robert Downey Jr. had to kiss. That was just
Yep.
awkward.
It's just like of course she.
There wasn't any chemistry there. I don't know.
I like how they acknowledge the fact that his web shooters have like a limited range and he's kind of useless outside New York City.
When he ran across that golf course, it was
Yeah.
like,
He's running. He's like, "This sucks."
I mean, I don't know. It was a good little nod to like, hey, you know.
it's like no. There's a lot of nice, fun humor in this movie, which I think is it. Despite it getting serious and
I
kind
didn't
of,
think it was fun humor at all.
you don't think it was fun?
No.
It
Okay.
wasn't fun humor.
What if, surprise, in the next movie, Deadpool has a cameo? Because Deadpool is always trying to hang out with Spidey.
I would love that, but it's never gonna happen.
I'd love that. That'd be so fucking.
Like,
Perfect.
Deadpool and
I know,
Spidey are like best
I know
friends.
the writers of Deadpool want that to happen.
I know.
Now here's the thing:
It would be great.
Sony does technically have creative control. If Sony really wanted it, it could.
But it would have to
potentially
make
happen.
sense, but also it's Deadpool, so it really doesn't need to make sense.
Why not just have Ryan Reynolds show up and just have him kind of just like
Yeah.
not even be Deadpool, just have him show up,
No.
That wasn't
Alright,
his-
because...
or I mean yeah, but it's like it's just a nod because it's not gonna happen.
Because
Yeah,
Spidey's
but-
favorite sandwich place got destroyed, Deadpool takes him to his favorite taco place. He says, "Here, try this instead."
Try chimichanga.
Yeah. I don't know.
I wish, but
Now I
I
want to read
doubt.
Spider-Man and Deadpool comics. 'Cause,
Still think Thor should have showed up.
just ended everything.
Yeah.
hey, they did reboot Spider-Man kills.
I mean
Marvel
Deadpool.
again.
I mean
Yeah.
Deadpool kills Marvel.
That's what I said. Deadpool kills.
Oh, you said Spider-Man
Yeah,
kills
that's
Marvel.
whatever. But yeah, they actually said Deadpool kills Marvel again.
Yeah.
Why didn't Spider-Man want to kill?
Every
Every time that the robot suit wanted to go into like lethal mode, he was like, "No,
I think it's-
no. You have to kill at some point.
Because he's the
14's
friendly-
a good age to start killing. If you're gonna have to do it, you may as well do it soon.
Because then he
It's
would.
gonna happen. Like when the aliens come back in the next Avengers movie, which they are, they're gonna have some infinite, nameless, faceless enemy. He's gonna have to kill.
They'll kill them with their wonderful jokes and one-liners.
Yeah.
It's okay though. I won't be mad at a Spider-Man one-liner because that is his character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that will not piss me off at all. But like
As long as
everybody
they-
else, yeah, fine.
As long as they don't go Age of Ultron level with the one-liners.
Can't wait for Avengers Infinity War when all 50 fucking Marvel characters are in the movie have all of them have like 21 liners. The whole movie's just
There's not actually any conversations. in
Yeah.
the
There's
movie.
no
It's
actual
all
script.
one-liners. Oh, but Tom Holland, they give him the scripts
Yeah.
right before they shoot
Yeah.
because he can't be trusted to not leak anything by accident.
Really?
He's that bad about giving away stuff to the press, so that they don't let him read the script. He gets to read he gets to read a couple words before his line, so
Yeah.
that he can kind of get an idea of maybe what the sentence is going on, and then he says his line.
Wow.
He's that bad at keeping a secret. I thought that was really funny.
Anyway, I think we've dragged this on long enough.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Bird dog.
Bird dog.
Bird dog.
Button.